that was a mess. All right, so we have the RAD Charger in the shop today. It's time to get it fixed from the Onx Offroad challenge, where it got quite a beating on it. So let's go over everything that broke and everything that we're gonna fix. We might find other things along the way to fix, but there's a couple key items before it can become my daily driver again. So the first thing, and I'm very, very sad about it, the quarter panels, specifically that one. That one I don't really care about so much, but that makes me sad. So we gotta get that fixed. This other side saw a similar fate. Gas door still works and nothing wrong with that. It's just a little tight, and then the back hatch doesn't shut properly anymore as well, so like this got annihilated in. So first thing to note, this leaf spring is not straight anymore. It is curved all sorts of ways and probably broken. We gotta find replacements for that. Another thing that happened in kind of one of the ridiculous challenges is shock reservoir. Totally pinched the line, oil everywhere. It's pretty much ruined. I don't know how to put it any other way. So we'll have to get at least one replacement for that. So this pumpkin spun out of the axle tubes and rotated up. And that's why the leaf spring kind of look the way they do. But that was a lot of torque that did that and bouncing. So we got to get that pointed back down. I'm probably gonna cut all of the brackets off for my shocks and for my leaf spring mounts and all that, and then we'll reclock this down, get these axle tubes actually welded up. I got an axle truss from Barnes 4-wheel drive that we'll put over this thing and get it solid so that can't happen again. So with no fault to the drive shaft, I absolutely ruined this rear slide portion of the drive shaft. So I broke a tab there, bent a tab there, blew up the bearing, the U-joint in there. But this is the only part that actually broke, and it didn't even break. I still drove out with 4-wheel drive with the pinion clocked like to the sky. It wasn't until we were getting towed out that it finally broke, and then we had to tie it up on the trail. Previously, I did mention that it doesn't run anymore, and the Phytech unit that I was running, it just quit working on the last obstacle. It just started dumping fuel down my intake. So when we were pulling it onto the trailer, fuel was actually coming out of the exhaust ports and like dripping. It was really bad. So the other day I came in and I pulled all the spark plugs out and kind of cycled the motor a couple times just to pump all that fuel out, and there was a lot. So gotta find another way to get fuel to the engine. Right now I just have the stock carburetor back on it. It's not great, but at least we'll drive in and out of the shop if we put a battery to it. The next step is to get it up on the lift and to, I guess, get a better look at what's actually wrong with it. Then we can start tearing it down and getting it fixed, getting it working again. So after looking at everything, I'm very happy with how it all held together. I mean, I didn't get into this at all. Everything from here back was not happy. So yeah, you can see how that's pointed at the sky now better. That thing just looks worse now that it's hanging. I've got to go order a bunch of parts to get this thing put back together, because I think I'm going to pull the axle out, strip it all down, and basically rebuild it so it won't do this again. We live and learn. We'll see you when those parts come. All right, I have a truck coming later today that has these leaf springs on it, and I'll be able to take them and put them onto this because these ones are twisted funny. Before we do that, I want to get this axle rotated back where it's supposed to be. And I'm actually going to take advantage of this time to spin these brake calipers up out of the way. So I like where this one's at, so I'll probably weld it, and then we'll just have to spin this axle tube to match it, because if you look at this leaf spring perch, it's level, and this one is pointed down. And that's why that spring looks like that. Yeah, we just got to get creative and figure out how to spin that back up. I got a couple ideas. We'll see if it works. We're gonna have to put it back on the ground to do that. I'm gonna get this, I guess, pried into this axle perch right here. So now that that's in there, I can start jacking up on this and hopefully rotate that axle tube to a spot that I like. And then once we do that, then we'll be able to pull it out of the vehicle and redo all of our axle mounts the right way, it'll be perfect. This is how it was meant to be.
The only thing that actually ended up moving that time was your spacer.
Yeah, I think my spacer is bent now. Definitely could be happier. Let's see if this will work. The old lug nuts. Oh yeah, that feels good now. It's actually not bad. And then flip the bar around and bend it the other way. Yikes, look at the bend in that thing. And now they're sitting more even, which is a good thing. And now I can roll the whole axle down and get my brake calipers out of the way. That's perfect. Oh. Okay.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you. Told you parts were coming. I was looking at ordering some leaf springs the other day. It was like 500 bucks for a brand new set.
Yeah.
I hopped on Facebook Marketplace.
You got the whole thing for the same price.
Whole thing for the same price, and it's got a full float 14 bolt. It's not the wide one, but it'll do. It might be good for a buggy or something. Would you look at that? We got everything pretty much disconnected. I think we got parking brake out. We didn't have to disconnect the drive shaft, brake line, all that. So yeah, just about to lift this off and then we can rebuild it. Okay, that will. We're all good now.
Hey, stop being noisy! Did you break something again?
Yes. It's supposed to be full of fluid and nitrogen, and there's nothing in it now. Definitely not supposed to do that. Nice. We got the axle out, and now we need to get the leaf springs. Well, these actually don't look that bad.
No, they're
We got the leaf springs pulled out of the RAD Charger. We just have to go get the replacement ones now. Then we got to strip the axle down and make it all go back together. Man, I'm so excited about that truck. I don't even know why. When the listing is like right to the point,
yeah,
and I get there and it's exactly what they said and nothing more, that's when I don't try to talk them down. Like, I could have tried to be like, I'll give you 400 bucks for that. Then what? Saves me 100 bucks and now I feel kind of crappy? Nah, I think that's well worth the 500.
Yeah, that ain't working. That's just gonna tip.
So I can't get this bolt out, and I can't get this bolt out because this big hitch is on. I'm not going to take the hitch off though. I'm just going to plasma cut it off. Well, these things are freaking massive. It's a big chunk of steel. Alright, so I'm back from the store and we got to get this axle stripped of all of its mounts and stuff because the whole thing spun and mounts differently now. So yeah, I'll just break out the plasma cutter and we'll get all these brackets cleaned. Well, I got it mostly shaved off. It's a terrible job trying to clean axles off, but here we are because I didn't do it right the first time. So very deserving. I just have a lot of work with the grinder left, and then I can start doing my other mounts. I'm out of breath. Whew. All right, good morning. It is a new day, and last night I got the axle all cleaned up. Looks good. This is something that's going to keep it from breaking more. I got this truss from Barnes 4-wheel drive. Right there. And that goes over the top, and that will hopefully keep the axle tubes from twisting out. But we got to make some new leaf spring perches and new shock mounts and stuff like that. But I don't have enough steel here. We have a lot of steel, but we ran out of the steel we need. So we got to run down and go get some. Well, that went well. We've got our spring perches all cut out here. Got to clean them up a little bit more on the edge just to weld them together, and then we can go put them on that axle. Look at that. Whenever I build a vehicle, I always forget to make tie downs for it, so that's what that is. Yeah, I like it. Should work good. On these leaf springs, they have a big, giant helper spring, and we had to take that off. Well, we didn't have to. We wanted to, because it's a good idea. And now, we got to put these back together. All right, these are like leaf spring spacers, I guess. They go in between and they help them articulate easier. So we'll get those in there. Beautiful. That went together really smooth, actually. All right, there it is. A new leaf pack. Now we can throw them in the truck and get our perches kind of set. We'll get pinion angle put in and measured and whatnot. Making good progress. These have quite a bit more curve to them. This part is wonderful. There we go, one's back in. Should be driving in no time. That's okay. Now we can come down, I think, with this whole thing and get the axles sitting. Okay, 8 3/4. 8 3/4. Thank you. Okay, well, that's all we need.
Fair enough.
All right, so presumably since we cut the old shock brackets off, we need to make new ones. And I have a lower profile version cut out here because this one was just kind of a little bit funny. I wasn't super happy with how it turned out. So we'll put the new one in and hopefully working better. So this is what we got so far. I'm using it on the broken shock side because there's no pressure on it. But I think something like that will work. All things considered, that's not bad. With the shock mounts being built, we put the U-bolts back on to hold everything together so we could lift it up and put the truss on. So now we need to get this Barnes truss put on. And yeah, just like the front, we need to heat up this housing and then weld it up so that it gets a good penetration. It was so hard to find this bolt because it's metric and I don't have metric much. That was weird. Oh, that was a mess. We're not gonna preheat this time. There's times where I would, not today. All right, well, we're just gonna weld it on. Yikes. So the truss is all welded on. It looks really good, actually. Now we just need to put our shock mounts on, and then we can pull it all apart and paint everything, and then we can put it back together. And it will be fixed. It will be ready to drive, except for I still have to fix the drive shaft. Yeah. Oh, these are terrible. Aha! No problem. That looks good right there. Something along those lines. Tack this on. Let's see. Oh. Can't tell me that was any easier.
Oh yes, I can. I watched you struggle for at least twice that time putting the other ones in.
I've learned. It's experience. This one's gonna be a little bit trickier to get on because it's this one's not broken and there's actual pressure in it. Whoa. All right, I forgot one important thing. We're not done welding and we're not done fabricating. We need the anti-wrap bar. Okay, so got our bar, anti-wrap bar here. We gotta get it back in. Something like, do it right there like that. Okay, so we take this, put it right here, like that. All right, let's go draw some stuff on the computer. Gotta get these in. Oops. We now have that in, that thing. Everything, I think, is put back together. We got leaf spring perches on, our shock mounts back on. We have a Barnes axle truss on there to keep the axle where it's supposed to be. We got our anti-wrap bar put back in. Now we just need to tear it all apart, finish welding a couple small things, and then we can get it painted and reassemble it all again. A lot of assembly and disassembly in this fabrication process. Got everything painted, and now it's just waiting for it to dry. Literally waiting for paint to dry on a Friday. Probably gonna call it. We'll reassemble it probably tomorrow, and then we'll be able to get the RAD Charger in and out comfortably, I hope. We got a couple more things to address on it, like the back corners and getting taillights working and getting a drive shaft put back in. But other than that, we're making good progress. We'll see you when the paint is dry. All right, so we got everything on the rear axle reassembled and painted, and just have to put on tires, lower it down, tighten up some of the leftover nuts and bolts. We have a traction bar, drive shaft, battery, rear hatch. That's all we have left to do before we go to lunch today. I think we got it. So, we gotta make this work again. We gotta fix the U-joint that's in there, pull it out. I've got a new one here to replace it with. And then we can put the drive shaft back together. Let's do this. Oh, that's so bad. I'm gonna need a mallet. This is a little bit tricky. I have some up here because I started undoing them when I broke it. We have a drive shaft in again, and it looks good enough. Good enough. We need to go to the store, but we need to pull the battery out first. Goes. Oh, I mean. All right, we'll throw the battery in. Gosh, it's quite a. I think that other battery was smaller.
It was.
Or this isn't sitting down properly. Super strong. See that edge? Yeah.
You shouldn't be able to.
Yeah, that looks wrong. We gotta fix that. Look at that reveal. Needs some work. Now that the back hatch actually latches, we can hook the battery up and it won't drain anymore because the light won't be on. Hopefully. So, here we go. I'm gonna just tap that down. That's how you install battery leads. Watch this. Check the coolant level. We're ready to start it up. I'm so confident. I'm gonna close the hood. AC is actually nice and cold. All right, let's go get some lunch.
Yeah, number 4 combo.
Yeah, I'll have a number 6 combo with a medium lemonade, no ice. Fired right up.
Hey guys, sorry about that.
No worries. Everything's functioning as it should. It's passed the test. It's passed the test of getting fast food. What's more American than that? All right, I'm stoked to have the rear axle back under the RAD Charger. It's ready to hit the road, except for the taillights and some of the body damage that I still have to fix. But we'll have to do that another day. Thanks for watching.
The mighty hammer.
If I broke it with a rock, I can fix it with one. All right, so this next weekend, we're gonna be hanging out at the Mount Carmel Car Show. That's September 22nd and the 23rd. We're gonna have the Rubicon there, as well as the RAD Charger, and we've got some new merch. The new merch is gonna be on the website shortly, so just keep an eye out for that. Come hang out with us. Fab Rats is gonna be there as well. It's gonna be a good time.